All right. Hello and welcome back to the Stack Cash AMA. This is our 11th AMA in a row. So we're kind of getting these things going every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC. We just thank you guys for joining with us. I am Muddy Mo, a board member here at Stack Cash, and I'm also joined today with Little Fish, another board member. How's it going, Little Fish?
Hey there, how's it going? You
Good.
okay?
Happy to have you, man. We're gonna do a little bit of bragging about you today. Little Fish does an awesome job of writing Medium articles, and he's also kind of have in his Medium article a little bit about what we're gonna primarily be talking about today, and that's kind of what you can expect from Cashbox. So to kind of be light about it before we get into the nitty gritty, I will say that how Cashbox is built. It's built to have fixed yield, but it's also the cornerstone of our cash products. So all of the cachet, sweepstack, especially CBC, those products that's within our protocol are all steeped and based off of how essentially how Cashbox goes. So it's gonna be exciting. So I know a lot of people, how long is it gonna take for me to ROI? What's my APY? If I compound every day, how much can I expect out of this thing? We all have expectations, or at least want to visualize how things are going to be when the project actually releases. So that's just available today for everyone. We'll talk about it, and we'll also talk a little strategy based on what you can do from your unboxed rewards or from your rewards from Cashbox. So, Little Fish, how you feel about Cashbox, man?
Uh, it is my favorite bit. Is that fixed yield, isn't it? You know what you're going to get. Yeah, definitely my favorite part of the protocol, really.
It's hard to beat. 0.5% per day, fixed yield, and not only just that, it's sustainable. We'll talk more about that as well. But it's a way to make a paycheck, man. A lot
Yeah.
of people, when we look at these DeFi projects, people want to learn how to earn something that they can expect every week, every other week or so. So that's exactly what we're bringing into Little Fish's point. He said this is his favorite. I love that. I love that because again, people want to have something to look forward to and know that it's going to be available. So we'll talk all about that today. So just for a little house cleaning, as you guys come in, please feel free to hit the like. Definitely hit the like. And also, if you would, you can share this video, and I'll show the link tree in just a moment. But share all of our videos. A lot of people might have questions on, some specifics or just in general, what is this thing? What we're building here is, and we're being methodical on how we're building it. But what we're building here is something that's built to be extremely long term. Remember, this is a community banking DAO. So we want you guys to see the stack token and the cash token as somewhat of a bank. So feel free to share. Also, I'll be going through our Twitter a little bit today, but also if you're on YouTube, please feel free to hit that subscribe. And if you're on Twitter, feel free to follow us, leave a comment. We're really engaging, and we're also bringing some new people on board that can really help with us be more engaging on Twitter and Telegram, Discord, so forth and so on. And last but not least, just for house cleaning, if you guys would follow us in our Discord and our Telegram, that's where we're the most active. You can always catch somebody there. So please feel free to catch up with us there. All right. So let's see. Okay, we got Tina on early. Let's see. Tina say, "What's up, stagnation?" I'm excited about today's show. The Cashbox is going to help change so many lifestyles. I myself will be using Cashbox to enhance my profits from my business. Ooh, stuck that up. I like that, Tina. I like that, Tina. You getting this? There you go. There you go. Um, so that fixed yield, to Tina's point, she says, "Look, I'm gonna use this Cashbox to enhance my profits from my business." Right. So she got her business going and getting a little something on the side. I love that. I love that. Um, yep. So yeah. So Tina, we're happy to have you on. Again, one of our board members. We kind of get this thing, but our thing here is Stack Cash is to have all of you guys understand kind of what's going on. So when we get to the next step, we're just off and rolling. So yeah. So today I'm excited about it too, Tina. I think Cashbox is really awesome. And as Littlefish said earlier, it's just that fixed yield that we're going to be really discussing today. So very good, very good. All right.
Another great thing about it really is that, all of those strategies that you've got to put in place, you're either going to compound or you're going to withdraw, or you can stick it in a CBC. You just got variations of what you can do, and hopefully we're going to introduce a couple of other things as well. So it's just not a straight, right, I'm going to compound or I'm going to just withdraw and drain the thing. You're gonna want to engage in it, really.
Exactly, little fish. I think what you said is perfect. This is not regular. Like this is not your typical run of the mill. I'm just going to compound and withdraw. To your point, this is so much more. You can be a part and get some if you want blue chip tokens or CBC. Also, you can, if you want cash to go into Cache, right, to have another savings, you can do that from unboxing in Cashbox. Another thing that you can do is if you want to get stacked token, if you want to get that store of value, that Bitcoin type token, Cashbox withdrawals allows you to do that directly. So yeah, that's some great points though, little fish. Just the options there, just more to do. And also for me, I think everybody, now this is what I love about us having a board and us having equal say in everything. For me, I really like the fact that with Cashbox, there's sustainability. And, in the DeFi space, guys, we've seen a lot of, that's our version of a CD contract within our ecosystem. But we've seen a lot of CD contracts struggle to be sustainable or to maintain. So we have multiple things in line to kind of keep this thing stable. And that's what I love the most about it. So, it doesn't matter what you guys like about it. I think we all got different things that we like, and I think that's what makes it better. Is there's so many good parts to it that we can talk to. So very good, very good. And also, thanks to Tina, but everybody else, if you guys would, if you're watching this later, feel free to leave a comment. If you have any questions, feel free to ask questions, and we're here to help. Also, we'll talk all about Stack Cash. We have our white paper in video form right now, so if you would. You can go check out if you want to learn just about Cashbox. It's also all about Stack Cash that specifies Cashbox. So, all right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. How's the weather where you are today, little fish?
It's cloudy. It's supposed to be thunderstorms in a bit. It's been threatening all day. It's kind of one of those humid days where it's sun, and then they've got the cloud and the darkness, and then you just hear a distant rumble. Yeah, it's coming.
My thing, man, I can't do the humidity. I can do the heat a little bit. I just when it's hot, I'm a sweater, man. So I get the sweating. Oh man, yeah, man.
Yeah, at the minute it's holding, but yeah, who knows when the thunder comes.
Yep. But I mean, to me, man, I think the weather, I love the change of scene, change of spring to fall to winter. Like I love the season change. I'm one of those weird people. Like I love the fall and the spring. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I like the winter or I like the summer. Like I'm just I'm a weird guy, I guess. I like the spring and the fall a lot. So I'm glad
I get it. Yeah. I mean, the spring, it's when it all starts to start up again, isn't it? It's great. It's the new life.
Exactly. All right, guys. Let's take. Okay, so we're on the screen here. So this is the link tree. Please feel free to come check us out in the link tree. The link tree will always be here as kind of home base, even when we have StackCash.community up and running and at full boat. The link tree will still be here as a list of resources that you can get to easily, and it's easy to share. So here you see we have the information that we've kind of talked through before, but I always like to go through this. At the very top we have our website here, which is still under construction, but we are at the tail end of that. Good news on that. Another is we have our light paper here. So we have a new version of the light paper coming with a brand new roadmap, so that's coming very, very soon. So please kind of keep your eye out for that. And as always, we have below here we have all of our all about Stack Cash videos, which is our white paper video. So please come check those out. We're talking about Cashbox today. So if you go check out all about Stack Cash part 5, It has the entire I think the second half of that video is all about Cashbox. So if you want some additional knowledge on what we're going to be talking about today, feel free to come here and check this video out. It's pretty quick watch, pretty easy watch. And then below that, we do have a couple we're updating. We put all of our AMAs here, so you can always kind of go back and check. This is number 11, so we've been doing this for 11 straight weeks, almost 3 months. So we're going to keep that going, and we're just happy that you guys can join us with that. And as always, we're going to talk a little bit about the Medium, how we're using Medium. Little Fish, he's our board member that's really awesome at Medium articles, but also just community members that talk about Stack Cash through Medium. We'll talk a little bit to that in a moment. But again, this is the link tree where you can come find everything. At the very top, we have our Twitter, our Discord, our Telegram, our YouTube, and an email. And we also have a secondary email that's probably going to be a little bit more responsive. But, we have a business email, that we also have a team email that we'll keep very, very active and answer you guys' questions. All right. So as always, I actually, before I do this, so let's talk about the Medium real quick. So we got Little Fish on with us, and again, like I said, in house, he's done a phenomenal job of writing articles, and these are quick reads, quick and easy reads, and that's what I like about him most. Little Fish, I'm talking too much. Tell us a little bit about your Medium articles, man. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, I just started doing them as a contribution to the project, really. There's a few there now. I think about 7 or 8. I think the next one will probably be all about Cashbox, and just about Cashbox and what the things that you can do with it, really. Yeah, go check them out. They're just 5-minute, 6-minute reads. I might look back at them and think, well, God, did I really write that? I can't remember writing that, but it's just they're there.
And again, I always say, Medium is just like I had my granddad used to love to read the newspaper every morning, right? So these is more articles and more like almost like a publication that community members can contribute to. So, thank you, Little Fish, for all that you've written up so far. And I know you said you got more you're gonna do in the future. We love that. But yeah, here is nice and clean. Especially, our white paper is going to cover certain things, but this is more of a perspective of an actual user. And remember, in Stack Cash, all of our board members, all of our community members, we're all seen as equals, and we all contribute to the project when we can. So shout out to you for that, Little Fish. And today we're talking about Cashbox. I think okay, we got the cash token here. I'm talking to staking and bonding. So he has an article up on that. So you guys please go check that out. Also, if you can, give it a hand clap. I think Medium has hand claps. So give it a hand clap if you can.
I think the first one I did was I entitled it "Can Stack Cash?" I don't know, how did I say it? I can't remember. Something about making back my money, my losses in DeFi.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That was the first one, because that's what this project's all about for me. Really, is that this? I know that this is that pretty right on with its tokenomics. It's a great project, and being part of it where I'm at, I know that it's for real. It's not somebody that's just gonna build it up, run away with the money. We're all here to make sure that doesn't happen. So yeah, I just want a project that's going to work long term.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. And I love that you said that, man. Like, this is a people, like, we have a safe wallet, we have multi-sigs on everything. The safety to know that you can come on, you can be an investor, but you can also be a part and have a say in it is really important. And as we have our seed phase with our early adopters, people can come on and be a part of this thing. Just to your point, Little Fish, like, this is safe. Like, nobody's rugging you here. Like, everything's really transparent, as it can really get. But as you said, your first article was talking, how can I recuperate my losses in DeFi? And that's kind of what we're talking about today, especially with Cashbox, on how that can help you recuperate, any losses you've had over DeFi. with the fixed yield, and then we also got the stack side. But today we're focusing on cash. This is a really really good read, guys. So yeah, great. Thanks for bringing it up. But yeah, definitely go check that out. Especially for my experienced DeFi users. This is like a breath of fresh air, and Littlefish does a phenomenal job of kind of explaining on a base level how you can use things like Cashbox to make gains. And even like Tina said, hey, I'm using this to kind of add on to my business profits. We love that. We love that. So good stuff there. Thanks for saying that. Also here, please come check out our Twitter. So we have our Twitter. We'll keep that active. We're at live right now on Twitter, so feel free to view us there. But generally, we put everything here on Twitter. So you can, come and check us out. We'll have another Spaces coming up this week. I think last week we took the week off for the holiday. So yeah, so feel free to come and check us out on Twitter as well. And last but not least, we got some more things to add here. But the site is 97% done. Just a few more things we have to figure out here. But always, this will be our website. And this is not the DApp. We got more for you guys on the DApp. But one thing is this, our website, our DApp, everything is upgradable. Some people say, hey, I want the glitz and the glamour with the UI. No problem. We'll have that here available. We can upgrade and we vote on things here. So if you have a good idea, feel free to bring it to the table. One thing I love about Stack Cash is we're kind of like a melting pot. So bring your time, talent, and your treasure. All right. Yep, and this is just the cash token. So this will be all available to you guys. But today we're really going to be focusing a lot on Cashbox. And to me, this is the most familiar in the DeFi space, the CD contract. 0.5% per day, up to 200% of your whatever you deposit. And it's similar to a banking bond. Essentially, it's time locked, but you get your gains back instantaneously, as much as you call it. So, all right.
I think that's how a lot of people get into DeFi, really, isn't it? Sort of the CD contracts, either through Drip or Furio. So yeah, like I say, it's very familiar to everybody, the whole layout. But obviously, we're making it as sustainable as it can be, really, with the okay, it's a lower percentage, but that's where it's going to work. It's those higher percentages that it all falls down, isn't it? But yeah, sorry.
Exactly. No. That's a great point, man. Listen, you see you can get 5% a day, 3% a day, 2% a day. Like, oh man. Here we go. How long is this gonna last?
That's it.
Peace of mind. Now that 0.5%, and not only just that, what we're doing with the mega cash, which we'll talk about, and what we're doing, we'll talk about also today on how you can kind of plan out and kind of visualize the future here is most important. We can have fun in the other stuff, but I think Cashbox, to me, is like the suit and tie of the Stack Cash ecosystem. This is where we kind of button up, and you can it's serious business, but it really is like the key to the kingdom on the smart contracts. So
that's it. And it's all those things in the background, like you mentioned, Mega Cat Share, and that and others are kind of also make it sustainable, because it's like my comment there just saying is a lower percentage makes it going to last longer. It's not the lower percentage that makes it last longer. It's all of those other things in the background, isn't it? They're
exactly.
That's the thing that's going to help it survive and thrive, really.
Good point. And it's multiple ways we're going to show you guys how it's going to be sustainable. But I think that's important to note. That 0.5% is just a small piece of the puzzle. The way this is constructed, and guys, we've dealt, and that's something that's really special about with how we're doing this. We've dealt with multiple devs, and all of the devs, when they look at what we have here, I'll be honest, they first look at it and they assume it's not going to be sustainable until they start reading through it, and it's like, oh wait, I see what you guys are doing here. They see like, okay, you guys might have figured out something here. So I'm just excited about it. I'm excited about it. So we'll give you guys a couple utilities, and we'll also kind of talk about what you can kind of expect with the fixed yield. So let me get this screen going here. So yeah, I think Littlefish, you and we're here to talk too. So you brought up, a lot of people came into DeFi with Drip Network. Even before that, if you're older like myself in DeFi, you came in with something like Bankroll Flow. And then we had projects like Piston Race, Furio, and now we have ArcFi. And we've seen some common issues in those contracts. You know, we were talking about the percentage, the APY is just 0.5% per, I'm sorry, APR is just 0.5% per day. With that, you know, that we've seen all these other projects have higher percentages and not be sustainable. And we've seen these other projects, some of them could kind of lean towards, people who essentially are whales or have more, and they can benefit more. And another thing is people have been able to figure out a way to kind of game CD contracts. And what I mean by that is in a lot of ways, once you're in a CD contract, you can compound it, up to 100%, and you can do it fast. Some people put up bots on this stuff to compound and grow their principal too large. And once they do that, they can essentially drain a contract. So, um, real quick, so just some key points to Cashbox, and then we can kind of talk about APY, and we can talk about some couple utilities of how you can use this in real life. So go back. If you don't know, Cashbox essentially it's a low risk fixed yield passive reward generator. It basically allows users to make cash tokens every day. If you have to withdraw, and it also allows you to participate in other portions of the contract. So that's really cool. And bear with me, guys. This is our version 1 white paper here that I'm showing you guys. The new one's coming soon. It's under construction, but that's coming soon as well. So but we'll work with this for today. So Cashbox, talking you through it. If you had some, just say you had some BNB, or just say you had some USDC, you spend it to mint some cash tokens and then to enter the cash box. Once you do that, you're able to earn 0.5% a day, as we talked about. There's 5% fee, and we'll talk sustainability, but we're also, we're going to lead into, the utilities and the APY, but sustainability is key. There's a 5% tax on your deposited principal, on your deposit into your principal. So meaning we support other portions of the project that makes it strong, the ecosystem that makes it stronger. All right. So, 1.25% of all deposits essentially goes to our mega cash. That's the whale. That's, the law always be the largest holder in Cashbox, and its only real reason is to compound, grow itself, and to pay users. So another 1% comes to your team Stack Treasury, another 1% comes to your team Cash Bond. Now remember, we're not talking teams as much today, but remember, everyone has to be a part of a team, and each team has a Cashbox bond. So that's gonna pay you once a month. So everyone on your team's deposit grows to grow your team cash bond, which is awesome. Also, we got 75.75% going to add to stack liquidity. That's awesome, because obviously the stack token is what generates the yield for Cashbox. And we have 0.5% going to sweepstack, and last but not least, 0.5% going into the regulator. The regulator's primary focus, as the number 3 overall whale in the stack token, and it'll always be that way. Its primary focus is to essentially assure that the cash token and cash box stay sustainable and at peg, all that good stuff. So, look, I'm sorry I'm talking so fast, so much, man. Do you have anything to come in with, man?
Not really, mate. That's that's a good breakdown, isn't it, of what that fee goes towards. And it, I mean, we mentioned it before previously, but none of that goes to anybody else personally. There's no wallet that receives it and then can sell it on. That 5% goes towards building the project and building your own treasuries within the team. There's no dev wallet or anything that's receiving any percentage of any of the transactions at all.
Right. It's, you know what? It's not even like, people have marketing and development. No, we thank you for saying it. There's no dev out here. So everything goes to build either liquidity or to grow something within the protocol. And I think that's very important, because I think, Little Fishy, you can kind of speak to this too if you like. One thing that I love about how we're doing with Stack Cash is, we want to be trusted. We want this thing for you guys to feel a part of it, but it's also a trust factor here, because people have been scarred. They have. And now we like to talk about the good, but with some of the negatives, hopefully with a contract like we have here, we can help people heal from some of those scars that they've gotten in DeFi. So thank you for bringing that up. All right. All right, real quick. So the one thing that happens with everyone, once you have your principal into Cashbox, you're gonna have some to unbox awards at least every 4 days. Now, some projects make you come back every 24 hours. And I'll be honest, we took this to a vote. Shout out to the board. Yeah, we took this to a vote on how many days should it take before so essentially you'll stop accumulating rewards. And a lot of other projects wouldn't want to talk about this. But I will say, we voted on 4 days and we think that's fair. And what that means is, you know, every 4 days, right? You have to make sure you come back and at least do something here, which means you have to withdraw your cash. Now that's really good because it gives you a couple days leeway, right? And it's not like, you know, if you have to come back every 24 hours, if you miss a day or even if you're off a couple hours, it really affects you as a user, right? And we're not trying to, come behind you guys back and say, oh, well, you didn't, have an action. So, had something come up, you couldn't come back for 2 or 3 days. You can still come back and have your rewards here after 4 days. And I think that's important. What do you think about that, little fish?
Yeah, I think that's and one of the best things about it, to be honest, because I'm fed up of coming in and turning on the computer for 5 minutes every day, going to these other projects and doing an action. I voted 4 days because to me it's like, well, you're going to do it twice a week, then aren't you? You're going to come in on a Wednesday maybe, and then on a Saturday or a Sunday, and that's it. It's done. I just think it's great. Like you say, you don't get penalised for not coming back in. Every day. It just gets a bit tedious, doesn't it?
Heck yeah, man.
For me, because I just do the CD contracts. Really, I have tried other things, but I certainly ain't a trader. I don't want to come in and be watching it all day long and
Nah.
timing it right. That's not me. I just want to put my money in there, let the interest build, and then take a bit and compound a bit, and that's what it is. Really, that's what you need to do, and the fact that you can just do that twice a week. I mean, what you got to moan about there?
Yep, it's passive, man. Like that's why it's passive, and I think it's fair because just say if it was a holiday weekend, some people might be out of town with family or whatever. 3 days, and on your fourth day you can come back. I think kind of Tina's point earlier. She says, "Hey, this is going to add to my. I got a business in real. This is my real world. This is what I'm going to add to my profits." To me, kind of to Littlefish's point, talking about with other projects, other CD contracts, you have to come in every day, every day, every day. With us, I think if you want to get more out of it, you can compound as much as you want, or you can withdraw as much as you like. If you can, come back every hour, you can do that. But just to have it like almost like a side job, a lot of people work, 8 to 12 hours, to have it, whereas you can have it's like a side job and get stable tokens in cash, right? Which is 1-to-1 with USD. That's key. That is clutch. And hopefully this is a community banking DAO. So hopefully that's the key to the kingdom. And to your point, Little Fish, a lot of people have come in through CD contracts. So we understand that. And again, we using our version of a CD contract as the basis of essentially your way to everything else in the cash contracts, especially with CBC. So essentially how it works, every day you have to withdraw 50%. You can also withdraw up to 100%. So once you unbox, we have a special word because you have to box it, right? And when you mint it. So when you unbox, that means you're withdrawing your rewards. So that over a course of about 400 days at 0.5% a day, you'll get whatever's in this principle, you'll get that divvied up to you, but it accumulates every second. So, again, if some people might want to come, if you're a trader kind of person and you love, just getting your gains and doing something immediately with it, come back every 3 to 4 hours, no problem. Or if you are more passive and you want this to kind of be a second kind of job thing, you can definitely come back once a day, once every 2, 3 days.
And
Okay. Yep.
so I was going to say, I think there's a point there as well about it's not a race, is it? Some of these other projects, the price is really a big factor, and it's kind of like a race, either to get a max wallet, or to be selling when you think that the price is right. Because once everybody starts selling because the price is dropping or whatever, it's that race on there, isn't it, really? Whereas this, because it's a stable token, there's no race. So if you don't come in every day, it doesn't matter. You can leave it 3 or 4 days, the price is going to stay the same. So yeah, I mean, that's another great thing for me with Cashbox, really, is that just that, as I say, that stable yield, but you're not racing against other people to sell the token before the price drops some more.
Exactly. And you know what? I'll to kind of add to that, since we're using this stable cash token, right? I think that's the best peace of mind. With other projects, you had the token price. Some people got in at $100, some people got in at $1, and that changes the perspective of the project for a lot of people. Cashbox, again, this is our suit and tie of our ecosystem here. This is where the business happens. So yeah, I think to your point, Little Fish, making sure that we have this thing, where it's passive, but it's consistent and stable. I think that's important. So stability is something we really, really prided ourselves on when building this, guys. Um, so yeah, so you can withdraw up to 100%. Now, once you unbox, you have 3 options, and also, oh, sorry, if you compound, I'm gonna show you guys a chart in just a moment that Little Fish created, that shows what you could do with cash boxes, especially since it's stable fixed yield. What you could do, if you were to compound the max of 50% of your rewards every day, or however you come. We'll show that in just a moment. But there's also some other options when you withdraw. So when you withdraw, there's 3 things. You can go into cash tokens. It's a 5% fee. And that 5% fee just, again, is helping the ecosystem. Or you can go directly into stack tokens. And we got a couple of things we're panning out with the board on the percentage there. But essentially, it's going to be really, really awesome to be able to use your cash rewards. And we're talking utilities here, to come into the stack token, the store of value that's probably going to go up in value over time. So that's key as well. And last but not least, you can get directly into cash CBC. I'm sorry. So CBC is obviously where you can get blue chip rewards and get APR on your blue chip rewards. So those 3 items alone, and not even mentioning, if you withdraw into cash, you say you want your cash every day, no problem. Have your cash. So you can have your cash tokens, and you can also put those in Cache if you want a little savings account, just to earn a little bit more on top of it. So it's just so much utility to this Cashbox contract. Again, this is the motor kind of behind, multiple different smart contracts and multiple things that you could do. And again, there's fees on all of this stuff that helps feed the ecosystem, but having 3 options to do with your withdrawal, other than just taking it and selling it and buying something else, and you can do that in one-stop shop and get in and get that done. So okay. And I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but the mega cash here, this is the whale that's behind the scenes. So if we talked about CD contracts, you guys have been a part of CD contracts. One thing that a lot of CD contracts we think have been missing is the ability to essentially, okay, we see Doc, let me pull Doc up, another board member, but the ability to sustain itself. We have multiple things. We're not talking to regulator as much today, but the mega cash is not a dev wallet. It's not anything like that. It's a protocol owned participant, right? It's owned by the protocol. You know, nobody is immutable. And what it does is it grows itself, and it also pays the rewards for Cashbox users. So that's another thing that, you know, it's not, that's not the main payment system of Cashbox. However, it takes a lot of burden off of our regulator. And the larger our regulator gets, the more stable the entire ecosystem becomes. Now, some of you guys have been coming back, kind of listening to what we got going on. It's starting to probably come together for some of you guys, but even if it's not coming together, I think Little Fish made it very plain and clear. 0.5% a day, come back every couple of days, 3 or 4 days, right? And you can get stable rewards that you have options. You don't have to just withdraw a compound. You have multiple options that you can do and take part of. Doc, what's going on, man?
Hey, Doc.
Hey there, sorry about that. I just want to jump in for a few minutes. Sorry, just want to say hello to everyone and hope everybody's having a great Saturday and learning some great information.
Doc, always a pleasure, man. I know Doc has stuff he does on Saturdays, man. We appreciate you pulling in, man. Just feel free to chime in. Today we're talking about Cashbox CD contract and how our rendition is on it, and especially we're going to talk right now about essentially how, you know, users can earn fixed yield and what they can utilize it for. What do you think about Cashbox, real quick?
I think everything is great to have different parts of the ecosystem, and of course to have parts where you can get income, you can get passive income, you can get, you know, a different part of the ecosystem that also gives the reflection for growth. You get the income part. So the fact that you can mix and match growth and income, you know, is a great thing, especially digging in, because there's a lot to dig into all the treasuries and how things build upon themselves and how everything, you know, grows. But, you know, there's a great potential, of course, here for everyone.
Cool, man. Cool. Good. I love that too, what you said, Doc. You know, just at the end, you summed it up well. Great potential for everyone. It's, you know, personality, multiple personality types. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. Some people are aggressive, some people are conservative. Either personality type can build through a stable CD contract such as Cashbox. So I love that, man. Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's all how people want to play it. It's all about the different options, but there's options, like you said, for everyone. And some might start one way, see potential another way, or how one can feed the other and kind of help just keep, you know, building and growing and compounding.
Exactly. To each his own. You know, and then also, you know, you guys, you know, another key point to all of the StatCash ecosystem is that this is your own custody. Especially for my newer people who are not as familiar with DeFi, to understand that is key. This is, you know, all in your control, you know, so you can, you know, whatever works best for you and yours, feel free to do that. All right, so this is a chart. Thanks for Little Fish for creating this chart. This is a chart that is based on essentially if you were to compound the max amount that you can compound, building that principal every day, and essentially kind of close to what you can expect as a reward, which is pretty cool. So Little Fish, I know you created this. Did you want to talk through this before because you know I run my mouth, man. Did you want to talk through this real quick?
Yeah. So I just, as you say, I created it really. This is kind of how I will be doing it. Really, I'm going to compound as much as I can. But the beauty about Cashbox is that it forces you to take the profit, really. You know, because you can only compound half of your daily reward. So, I mean, there's two examples there. There's $1,000 or $10,000. Obviously, the first one is the 1,000. Then your daily reward on day one is going to be $5. And obviously, as time goes on and you're compounding, then that $5 increases more and more each day. So yeah, it's got the 0.5% APR, but then next to that is the 0.237% APR. So that includes or deducts the fee that you're paying as well. So the figures there are sort of what you would expect to get after the fees have been paid as well. So yeah, I mean you're at 6 months, kind of halfway along the line there. You've already taken out $538. So you're almost halfway through getting your ROI.
Mhm.
or more than halfway, but your principal is also, 1.5 times what it was originally. So that's always growing. Like Doc said, you got the growth of your principal, so your compound amount is always growing higher and higher, and the system is making you take those gains. And what you do with them is up to you, but you're getting that return. And then after the year, your principal is more than 1,300. Sorry, more than 2,300, and you would have taken out $1,300. So you're certainly getting your ROI within the year. I think because I put all of this into a compound calculator, like we all do when you get into these projects and you look in your dream and you think, wow, look at that. I think if you were just to compound 50%, take 50%, you would have had your, and that's all you do. You don't sort of put in any extra. Then you would have gotten your return on your investment by sort of if you started on the 1st of January, you would have returned your investment by the 20th of October, I think it was. And then it's just all plain sailing from there. Now that might seem a long way, it's not a long time between January and October, but we're here for the long term. We are here we're planning to be here for a long time. So it's a case of that's still early in the project. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And again, we're community banking. Think of bank. Your bank has been there probably in your neighborhood for 20 years or whenever they built it. So that's exactly what we're building this to do.
Yeah,
Extra,
and I just
extra.
say real quick,
Yep.
if I can, I love math and I love numbers. And when you look at it, right? I mean, what's great what Little Fishes did is awesome. Is showing that, hey, look, let's say 10 months in, you get your ROI back, but you still have your principal, which is worth more than you started. So, in what other ways that are out there where you can get your ROI back in that amount of time, but still have your original principal available at even a higher amount than you started with when you look at all the numbers?
Yeah, because I mean, if you're looking at having ROI, then basically you would have doubled your principal in that time because you're taking out the same amount that you're compounding. So yeah, it's
Love it.
great.
Love it. Great points, guys. Now, let me just add my little spice to it because I love you guys have broke it down very clean. This is my little extra spice. These amounts here, I love that you use these amounts, Little Fish. I don't know if you did on purpose, but these are, these are very clean amounts and that's feasible for the DeFi space. With this, these are also the cost of NTTs. So if this price is the committee NTT price, and this price, especially as an early adopter, this is the board NTT price, right? So for me, just say if you put a $2,000 deposit down, 1,000 into cash box and 1,000 on the committee NTT, you will have after 1 year, you will double your principal, right? You'll have more principal, you're earning more. You've already taken some out because we force you to take some gains. You have to take gains here. But not only just that, you'll even be earning, and this can't even be shown here, is whatever the committee NTT rewards become, it adds more into your principal, your cash box principal by the reflections. So there's nothing you have to do in order to get that, just by being a part owner with us in the contract. So that's even so these numbers, I will be honest, these numbers are actually conservative. They can be
Yeah.
even higher if you were to have a committee NTT or especially a board NTT. So
And it doesn't take into account, as I say, that is just sort of an initial deposit and adding no more to it. I mean, I say that's how I'm going to play it, as in I'm always going to be compounding half, but I do plan to add more in, and then adding more in is going to add to your team cash box as well. So there's going to be those rewards from there. So even if you didn't get an NTT, you're still part of that NTT treasury. That team treasury that's then going to also be paying as well. So, like you say, I mean, you're going to ROI sooner than the 10 months, really.
Little Fish, that is an awesome, man. Stack that up. Perfect point. Exactly. So with every deposit, remember, it's not just a you thing. It is a you thing. It's the individual for you here. But to Little Fish's point, there's also team cash boxes. So you have a team bond and you'll get paid on that once a month, right? So that's additional principal that's added here along the way. Now, let's think about it, because a lot of projects would probably just add to your rewards and kind of get you out the way. Here, we want you to build your principal as you are able to take gains out. That's the whole entire point of it. Remember, we're for DeFi users, by DeFi users. We get it. But the team portion is another great point, Little Fish. You don't have to get a committee or a board entity. It only enhances. However, if you were just to, everyone has to be on the team, you'll be able to get extra rewards. And if your team performs, you'll be able to do that. Another thing Little Fish said real quick that I kind of want to point out is when you unbox every day and you have these rewards, right? You have your cash that you can do, put in cache, right? Which is single staking, withdrawable anytime. You're gonna probably, I know, especially Team Money. I'm in the sweepstake. I love sweepstake. You're gonna probably say, hey, you know what? I got some cache. I'm getting some rewards on. Let me put my cache rewards back into add even more onto this principle. So again, this is, and I love that Little Fish did this, because this is a very conservative look at what your principal will be, at least in over a 6 month to a year's time. And he said all out about 8 or 9 months. And then it's just all, it's all growth from there. Something else I do want to pull in though, because I know a lot of people are concerned about, okay, so what if somebody puts $100,000? What if somebody puts $1 million? So we do have whale protection or whale blocks on our Cashbox smart contract. How does that work, Money? So essentially, no whale, especially to start, we're putting a cap at the max principal that you can hold is 1 million. And as far as Cashbox principal, and that's after fees. So the max anybody can get out to start is going to be 2 million USD. However, as the mega cash grows larger, the only stipulation is that no one can grow larger than the mega cash. Remember, the mega cash is to essentially add sustainability, to be able to handle the higher the whales and things like that. And also they'll be probably qualified for a board H-board NTT at that point. But even if they didn't, the mega cash is the whale protection here. It makes sure that we can pay our debts, and it also gives relief to the regulator, which pays all this stuff out. Because some people say, okay, hey guys, you said I can double my principal in a year, right? Not just that, I'm getting more rewards as my principal grows, and I get to take out some gains. What's the catch? There is no catch. Our over collateralization, right? Remember, we have a store value token that's going to become very scarce. That's what essentially provides the yield and makes all of this available. Makes it real, So very good. And also, again, notice here, guys, that we have APYs down here. This is at the maximum compound. Now, it might be a little less if you don't compound 50% per day, the max that you can. And that's okay, but you'll still get extremely close. And especially, we talked about other ways that you can add onto your Cashbox principal. That's just another, there's so many other ways that you can grow this Cashbox principal. So, our key here is this can be like a daily bread kind of thing. Like, you come back and you have some rewards every day, and you have more rewards if you were to compound up to 50%. Real quick, and I'm gonna let you guys jump in. Some people ask, okay, hey guys, why can we not compound the full 100%? I want to compound all of it and just build my principal even faster. While this is why we kind of have these kind of checks and balances, so you can grow your principal. Again, we want to protect you. We want to protect us. So, making sure that, you can only compound up to 50%, especially with the whales, right? It makes us a little more sustainable and be able to kind of hold on to what we're building here. Not just that, we'll be able to grow our vault and grow, essentially grow, you want to principal over 10 years, 20 years, you'll be able to calculate that and figure out what's best for you, and as far as earning rewards from Cashbox. So go ahead, guys. I'm sorry I've talked so much. Go ahead, chime in.
I haven't really got much else to add, really. I think, like I say, there's a number of whale protections in there, really, and one of them is making sure that we don't get too large too quickly. Everybody, we don't want We don't want some whale coming in and then just draining everybody else's funds away. And yeah, we don't want to build up that principle too fast. It's just not fair for everybody, and that's really ultimately what we're about, really being fair for everybody, because we want a project that works for us and for you guys.
Exactly. Exactly. And you just kind of brought up another thought. You guys have to understand, another protection that we have is that, we're taxing, whenever you want to unbox or withdraw your cash rewards. And that it might start off small, right? It might not be a lot, but as you grow more, the protocol still grows a base in liquidity, and it also grows a base on the stack side, which is probably even more important in liquidity. So just remember, and not just that, it builds your team. It's your team bonds. We're growing our mega cash, which is the well that pays everybody. All of that's growing over with every transaction that you do. So again, making sure we're staying sustainable. And to me, now we can talk. We got a lot of possibilities with the stack token, which we'll talk about on another day. But for now, especially, kind of like I was saying, a lot of you guys, you like to use this for whatever you want to use it for, right? This allows you, Cashbox allows you the opportunity to use this as, stable, basically stable passive income. If you want to be honest, just stable passive income. And community members can work up all the charts that they want, so you guys can kind of see visually even what's more possibilities if you were to add more, deposit more into your principal every day. You know, again, these are the most conservative numbers. Appreciate Littlefish for doing that. These are the most conservative numbers they can be. We want to under promise, over deliver, but yeah, you can have more principal even if starting with just $1,000 deposit over time. So
I know we've talked about it, previous AMAs, but obviously an incentive to be adding is not just about growing your principal and getting as much sort of yield back from that as possible, but it's the sweepstake as well. The team sweepstake. You come in whenever you come in on those 4 days or whatever, you've got some gains from another project, or you've got a bonus or whatever, and you add into the protocol and you build your principal, but at the same time you got the opportunity to win well, BNB or whatever token it is that we're on, whatever chain we're on at that time, so yeah, there's good incentive to keep building your principal, really, not just the gains that you see every day.
Little fish, that's another stack that up. Great point there. Remember, so we have our individual and team sweepstake, right? All you need to do is every time if you compound every day, especially over 5 cash worth. So even if you're at $1,000, you might want to deposit, but over a couple months, you'll be able to get to that $5 per day compound amount if you want a max compound. If you were to do that, that qualifies you for miscellaneous over on the sweepstake, so you can earn more cash box principal. So those rewards are getting put to good use, right? And not just that, if you just say say, hey, look, I got a $10,000 deposit, I really want to win, daily individual sweepstake. Your amount, so it's a lossless raffle. You don't lose from it. It's basically like, welcome, thanks for coming and playing in the Stack Cash protocol. If you deposit here, here's your free raffle ticket. So that's what it is. So the sweepstake, thanks to Littlefish saying that, but the sweepstake really adds where you can just win on an individual basis. Now, if you're like me, right, you really want to look at that BNB direct in your wallet. You can also, on a team level, you can win within your team by the first step is here, Cashbox, by minting here, and you have to match that with buying stack tokens. But the same thing, there's other ways to use Cashbox, which is essentially the basis of it. And I'll be honest, guys, we did that for a specific reason, because we know a lot of people came in with drip. We get it. A lot of people came in to the DeFi space with CD contracts because they make sense, right? So that's why this is almost like the catalyst to everything else that you can do, and it's going to garner a lot of attention, especially while you're building. And once you start getting those rewards, who know, you can, there's so many numerous opportunities and things that you can do. It's just phenomenal. It's just awesome. So good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Is there anything that we missed on Cashbox or APYs? Anything that you guys want to chat about?
I don't think so, really. I think we've covered most of it. All of
We
it.
hit it. Listen, we covered a lot of it today. We certainly did. But that fixed portion to what we have going on in Stack Cash, guys, that 0.5% a day. Just think about it. A lot of you guys have savings accounts, checking accounts at banks, whatever, right? You're not making 0.5% a day. Let's talk bonds. If you have a savings bond, a $500,000 savings bond, it's taking you years to get, what is it, 0.01, something crazy like that, where we're giving 0.5% per day. And as long as you participate, you'll be able to grow that principal. As we showed in that kind of chart, you'll be able to grow that principal as often as you like. It's just, to me, it's just a start. Like Cashbox is, it's the start to the ecosystem. Now I know a whole lot of people. Everybody got their favorite part. Like Littlefish says, Cashbox is his favorite. I love Sweepstack. I know Tina. I'm sorry, is it Tina or Vin? I can't remember which one. They like CBC, right? So, one thing that I do want to kind of say is that the Cashbox offers the opportunity for the CBC to grow, right? So if you want to go and get, a mutual fund, basically like a mutual fund, get other tokens, you can do that only through Cashbox. So that's why Cashbox is important. All right, guys, I've been running my mouth and I apologize. Also, please hit that like, guys. This is the Stack Cash AMA. This is our 11th AMA. Please feel free to hit that like. Anything else that you guys want to add?
No, just sorry I couldn't chime in and get too much there and join late, but it's great stuff, great information. And yeah, there's so many parts, there's so many things. And you might start loving one, and some time may come in, you go, oh, you know what? Look at this over here. And then next thing a different part of the protocol moves. But the fact that it has so many options and makes it, like, I feel like, very robust is great. So
yeah.
Good stuff, Doc. Littlefish, did you have anything else?
No, I just can't wait to get started.
There you go. There you go. So, guys, thank you again for joining us. Also, go check out Doc. Go check out Littlefish on our social medias. I know Doc is on YouTube. Littlefish is primarily Medium articles. Go read those Medium articles, and also check me out, Muddy Mo. I talk Stack Cash on my personal pages as well. So please feel free to check out all the users in the space that talk about Stack Cash. And also, again, hit that like and come check us out on Telegram and Twitter and Discord. If you want to get in touch with us, we're available. We always leave the light on. Somebody will be there for you. Please feel free to come join us and ask any question that you have as we progress. We have more things coming out, but we'll put those out obviously through Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. So to stay abreast of new things, I know you guys are waiting on stuff. We got stuff on the way. So feel free to check us out there. All right. So enjoy your Saturday, guys, and thanks again for joining us for the Stack Cash AMA. See ya.
See ya.